Hello, ladies. Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back. And I have a word for you today. Okay, so now that we have established the games that men play when they're, just slightly interested in you or just maybe feel entitled to you because you happen to be around them, and since you're there and you look good, they might as well. But these are not guys that ultimately want a true relationship with you or even are interested in you in the way that they should be in order to work for your attention and work for, whatever it is that they want from you. Okay. We have established the first game, or, actually, these things can be in any order. Okay. Sometimes a man will try to match energy first and then go into his push pull game. And then, like I said, at the end of part three, there is sometimes waves of different things that he'll try because, nothing's working. So he's, trying little antics and little this and that just to see what will make you tick. Because obviously, in his head, he's just so fine that, you should be trying to talk to him. Like, so you're not doing those things, you're ignoring those things because you know that this is basically no good, and but you still got to work there, or you still got to go to school there, or that's still a place that you frequent. um and I'm gonna be honest with you, ladies, sometimes the man is attractive visually, okay, but the pockets ain't attractive, okay. This is for those men too that you have in your life that are physically attractive, but they have no money. Okay. When you ask for something, okay, what happens when you ask? Now, let me say this for the new girls, this could be practice for y'all. I think y'all should go ahead and get it out of the way with these dusties. Practice asking. One, it'll get you kind of used to it. And, if you're like me and you have trouble with like, just trying to put it in a way where you feel like, okay, you could be kind of cutesy with it, but you ain't, you know what I mean? When you're trying to keep it cute, but you're not trying to come off too eager, because there's ways of asking that make you sound like you're in need. You don't want to sound like that. Okay. You want to sound like this is something you usually do. You definitely don't want to sound like it's your first time. So who cares if it's a dusty? You can basically just, use him as a baseboard to kind of see what happens. Usually with a man who hasn't slept with you yet, but definitely wants to, he is going to indulge you in some way or another. He's not going to say no. Even if, like I said before, he doesn't get it for you, he'll do some other things. And that's what we're here to talk about. So for the girls that have been doing this and, maybe they're encountering something new and, just want to hear this because this is entertaining and funny. When you ask for something, usually, I think it's easy to slip it in around your birthday or about your birthday, or um if he's using a pet name on you, you know, Bay, Work Bay, Boo, different stuff, it might be easy to be like, well, my boo would definitely be getting me some gifts or something nice. Um, or something like that, just to kind of hint towards things, because what he'll want to do is continue the conversation just because you're acknowledging him as quote unquote your boo. So you got to you might play a little bit of his same game of, indulging him with the pet name or whatever. But his answer will probably at least try to sound like that he would do it, or that he, that's what you're interested in. Okay. Like in the back of his mind, that's what he's thinking. Okay. That's what she wants. She wants me to buy her things. Okay. Likely he's going to feel a type of way on the inside. He's not going to show it. He's going to feel a type of way on the inside. And what I've noticed is Dusties and especially the ones who have been listening to these crying men on the internet, y'all, it's like they be wanting to have an engagement with us. They be wanting to have an engagement with a woman like us because they swear up and down they know exactly what they gonna do. They know exactly how they gonna handle us, blah, 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 blah. But when you're standing there looking all good, smelling all good, hair all whipped to the side, you looking at him out of the side of your eye, making eye contact, eye contact always gets them. And girl, what I have experienced is some of them will try to avoid your eye contact after that. But, he not going to say no. So let me just say that. Don't even worry. But that's the worst he could do. But don't even worry, because he probably won't, because he still wants to make sure that there is a chance that he could possibly sleep with you in the future. So right now it's all about putting on. Okay. So go ahead, ask for something. Okay. And if it's a birthday gift or something, he might ask you what you want, but it's not likely. Okay. Dusties, they're really, really careful with those words of like, oh, well, asking you what you'd want, asking you where do you like to go. Usually, even if you meet this guy on the street and, out and about, and you just so happen to communicate with him because you don't know he's a Dusty yet, and he wants to take you out, but he doesn't allow you to basically pick the place. Because most guys that are trying to impress you will ask you to pick the place first. The smart ones will. The dumb ones will try to kind of keep it like, oh, they want to do a surprise. Now, that doesn't mean just because he wants to do a surprise and he doesn't want to, necessarily let you pick the date that he is a Dusty or a Brokey. He might, but that's one of those yellow flags. Okay. Like, okay. Most Dusties, though, will want to pick the place because they don't want you to pick something that they can't afford. And a lot of times they will want something like silly, maybe go to an arcade or something where it's games. And I know that sounds crazy, but this is true, y'all. Or to the movies or, something like that. And, if he does have a little bit of money, he definitely will ask for, dinner or lunch. But he might pick some place that, he figures is nice enough. And that depends on you. But we're still dealing with the people that you just see on a regular basis because you have no choice. Likely, if you're asking for a gift, the first thing he'll probably do is try to do it pick it out himself. He's not going to ask you what you want. He'll basically make it seem like you're going to get it, but it's going to be a surprise. After he tells you that, right? Because y'all got to remember, Dusties are used to telling girls stuff and then girls just running off and taking the words as Bible, y'all. How many times have you heard a girl say, well, he said he was going to do this and he said he was going to do that. And he said, he felt this way about me. Well, of course I believe this because he said that. Girl, all he did was say some words. Okay. So a lot of times men are thinking that even with them just saying the words, it's going to change your attitude towards them. So likely if you ask for something and it catches him off guard because he's thinking, these dusty ways have worked on everybody else. This gotta work. And he has to prove it to himself because this is also his ego on the line. And he's been trying for some time now. Okay. Because a lot of times this takes time. There are Dusties that think they are the T. You know what I'm saying? So they will try these incy, tinsy, bincy little ways of getting you before they ever put their neck out on the line and actually do something, So when you ask them to do something and they're put into a position of, okay, they're not going to tell you no because they know their chances are up, then they're going to say they're going to do something. Okay. That's one thing that he'll do. Now, after that, it may take a while, Now, Shira would say, and this is probably the best advice, go ahead and say, well, can you get it now? Can you get it today? If you work at a store or something like that, can you buy me something today, blah, blah, blah. Or if you ask for money, go on cash at me, but asking for money is a little bit weird in these particular spots. So it's kind of like, okay, a gift, right? So you may have to wait on the gift basically if he's going to buy it, but we already know he's not going to buy it. The whole point of asking for the gift is actually not for him to buy it, but for you to have a reason to take some distance from a man that you're trying to just get off of your trail a little bit so you can have a good work environment or good school environment or whatever. He's going to right after you ask for it and he's told you he's going to do it, he is going to watch your behavior and he's going to be trying to, I will guarantee you actually, right after he tells you he's going to do it, the next time you see him, he'll be acting a lot distant. Now, it won't be to the point where he doesn't speak to you when you walk in or something crazy, but he'll definitely be acting distant because what he wants to do, again, is create this chase. Now he knows what you want. Oh, great. Now I know. But he doesn't want to do it, but he said he was going to do it. Now let's see what she's going to do, because ultimately he don't want to do it. So just him thinking that you think he's going to do it, he wants to see how that changes you. I promise you, what you should do next is match his energy. Okay? If he doesn't show up the very next time you see him with the gift, this is what he's doing. He's watching to see if you're going to be nicer to him, if you're going to bring it up a bunch of times, if you're going to do this. I would say if you can, as far as like not talk to him much, if he's kind of a more distant person you work with, a distant person in your organization or whatever, or wherever you go, or whatever, your situation, you could basically be just as distant, but if you work kind of closer together, obviously do your job, do what you got to do, take care of business, but nothing more, nothing less. Okay. Because he's going to be clocking all of that. The next thing he might do is say, oh, I had a hard time figuring out what to get you, so just let me know what you want. Okay. If he's bold, he'll freaking ask you to text it to him or write it down or something. But I promise you, you shouldn't even think that he's going to buy it. He just wants to now get you to do something. Like now he has asked you what you want. Now he wants you to do something physical, make it seem like it's really coming, so he can kind of lead you to that edge again, and he's not going to do anything. But the best thing for you to do is wait. Don't mention it. Don't say anything about it. Let it go, right? This is going to shake him because he's not going to know what to do with it. And I would say keep remaining distant, but be polite. Highs and buys. Don't change what you normally do, because this will also let him know none of this stuff is working. None of this stuff that you're doing is working. The only thing that will work is if you show up with these gifts. We're dealing with a dusty ego here. He's not going to show up with the gifts. He's likely going to back off. Okay? And that's the goal here. Okay? We want him to back off. And like I said before, this is not a person you would want close to you because of the sheer insanity of them changing their personality when it suits them. Okay? All right. So I'm not going to beat this one into a ground. This is basically what you have to expect when you ask for something. And ladies, definitely be asking for something all the time. Anytime a guy says, oh, that's a nice whatever, you need this, or point something out, be like, oh, you're gonna get that for me, oh, you're gonna get that for me. These are ways of practicing asking for stuff if you've never asked for stuff before. Okay, all right, talk to you ladies later. Definitely will be back if I think of another nuance.